When the Venom movie was first announced, as a huge fan of both Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote, I was both ecstatic and terrified at the same time by the news.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
As you can see, it's not difficult for Sony to get Eddie Brock and Venom completely wrong, scarring fans for life. I still have nightmares. But one of the biggest concerns that fans have for this movie is, how can you make a Venom movie without Spider-Man? For anyone unfamiliar with the origin of Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote, Spider-Man played a major role in both of their stories. In the comics, when Spider-Man was trapped on Battleworld during the first Marvel Secret Wars event, his suit was damaged and he looked for a replacement. This is where Spider-Man released the symbiote, thinking that he was using advanced tech that could make him a new costume, unaware that he was actually releasing an alien being. The symbiote increased Spider-Man's strength and abilities tenfold, but he slowly started to realize that his new suit was affecting him, bringing out a darker side of him, fighting for control. It was around this time that Spider-Man also made Eddie Brock look like a liar, when it was believed that Spider-Man captured the real serial killer known as Sin Eater, costing Eddie Brock his job and reputation, leading to a downward spiral that brought him to the verge of suicide. This is how fate brought all three of these characters together. In Web of Spider-Man #1, the symbiote escaped from the Fantastic Four and tried to permanently bond with Peter Parker. While fighting the symbiote's control and the Volturian, their battle led them to a church where Spider-Man hoped to exploit the symbiote's weakness of sonic sound waves from the church bells to destroy the symbiote. In Amazing Spider-Man #300, however, rather than killing the symbiote, it's revealed that it managed to slither away, finding Eddie Brock in the church below. Their bond and shared hatred for Spider-Man created Venom. That being said, it's easy to see why it would be difficult to have a Venom solo film without Spider-Man, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. We've been provided the solution, more or less, in the Spider-Man animated series. In Season 1, Episode 7, John Jonah Jameson Jr. is returning from a space mission unaware of his alien passenger. The symbiote attacks him, similar to the scene in Species 2, forcing the spaceship to make an emergency landing on the New York Bridge, the same one that Eddie Brock is on. Spider-Man saves Junior and the other astronaut, but is covered by the symbiote in the process, mistaking it for sludge from the water. Now, I'm not saying that this scene has to be used exactly the same, as it doesn't have to be Junior who is one of the astronauts, but it should be, so that Sony can bring back J.K. Simmons in the role he was born to play.
You serious?
John Jonah Jameson. As for how the rest of the scene plays out, all they have to do is take Spider-Man out of the equation, still leaving Eddie Brock on location with the crash happening in New York or San Francisco, depending on if they plan to stick to the comic location or not. The crash serves as the story of a lifetime for Eddie Brock, and helps introduce one of the movie's main antagonists, the Life Foundation. Since the inspiration for the Venom movie's main plot has been cited as the Lethal Protector and Planet of the Symbiote storylines, it only makes sense that the Life Foundation would be the ones to recover any samples that the spaceship brought back, which would include the Venom symbiote. To further play into this, the latest image shared by IGN shows Tom Hardy being, well, Tom Hardy, but if you look closer at his notebook, you'll see that he is investigating the Life Foundation. Each question reads as follows. So how exactly does the Life Foundation go about testing its pharmaceuticals? What about the allegations your empire is built on? That you recruit the most vulnerable of us to volunteer for the testing that more often than not ends up killing them. Given that Eddie Brock is known to be a tenacious and resourceful journalist, he'll likely find a way to sneak into the Life Foundation in hopes of finding anything he can to expose the Life Foundation for what it is and walk away with the big headline. He'll come across the Venom symbiote by accident, possibly releasing it by mistake, or bumping into the container housing it, freeing it, which is how the two will end up bonding to form Venom. I could be wrong, but this feels like the easiest way of setting up Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote coming together. As for the source of Venom's powers, the alien symbiote is what grants its host increased strength, endurance, agility, and so on, even before bonding with Spider-Man. Even the generation of webbing can easily be explained without him, as Venom is known for constituent matter generation and manipulation through the comics, video games, and other forms of media. These tendrils can easily be formed into the webbing that Spider-Man uses, and the Venom learned how to mimic after bonding. Really, the only reason Sony needs to give, which works, is it's an alien. Now with the Life Foundation and Lethal Protector serving as the foundation of the Venom movie's premise, that means we'll be seeing more symbiotes than just Venom. With the announcement of Riz Ahmed being added to the cast, many believed he would be playing Cletus Cassidy, until more recent cast information stated he would be playing Dr. Carlton Drake instead, the infamous leader of the Life Foundation, and the one responsible for creating the 5 other symbiotes. That's right, there's a very strong chance that we'll be seeing more symbiotes than just Carnage and Venom. During Lethal Protector, Dr. Carlton Drake was able to find additional seeds, or symbiotes within the Venom symbiote itself, creating Agony, Phage, Lasher, Riot, and Scream, but since Carnage is confirmed to be the main villain of the film, this would likely include Carnage as well. This may be the direction the movie decides to go with, sadly, making Dr. Carlton Drake the host of Carnage, rather than the iconic and absolutely psychotic Cletus Cassidy. Which would be a shame because Woody Harrelson was recently added to the project, and although I think Jackie Earle Haley would be the best pick for the role, I could see Woody doing well as someone as twisted and as evil as Cletus. Don't believe me? Watch Natural Born Killers. Current talk, however, states that he will be playing a common henchman, so being a host for one of the Symbiote 5 seems more likely, if not Cletus himself. Carnage's host may not be the only change though, as recent images from Tom Hardy's Instagram show him wearing more tactical attire. This could be a nod to Venom's time working with the government and License to Kill, or it could mean that Eddie Brock will have some military experience, meaning that this version of Eddie Brock and Venom may also be partially based off of Flash Thompson's run as Agent Venom. Although this feels unnecessary to me, they could have picked someone a lot worse. Matt Gargan. There have also been some interesting leak footage of Tom Hardy rehearsing some of his scenes, one of which appears that he is fighting for control of his body, moving oddly all over the place. The only thing we haven't been provided much info on is how much we'll see Planet of the Symbiotes come into play. We do know that we'll be seeing Carnage, and that Planet of the Symbiotes means we'll be seeing even more from there, even beyond the Symbiote 5. The question that remains is, will we see the symbiote outbreak occur due to the failed experiment that the Life Foundation attempted with the Venom symbiote, or will Earth be invaded by other symbiotes from another planet? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I just hope they don't try to do a giant-sized CG Carnage fight at any point in this movie, because I don't think that would translate very well. But that's where I'll end this video. I remain cautiously optimistic for this film, as I haven't seen a bad Tom Hardy film yet, and he seems very passionate about this project. What are your thoughts, though? Who do you think will be Carnage? Do you think we'll see the Symbiote 5 in this film? Do you think the Venom movie will at least be entertaining, or will it be a complete flop? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, dinging the bell to remain notified of any new videos that we put out. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, along with all the other social media we have listed in the video description below. Join our Discord server to chat with the Ready Comics Roll crew and other rollers about all the things that we all love. Follow us on Twitch for random live streams throughout the week, such as Dragon Ball FighterZ and Monster Hunter World in the near future. And, if you'd like to see us grow, head over to our Patreon and become a patron today.